50 years, Dennis?
Unbelievable.
Dr. Becker?
Yes, I know.
Tell us, give us a little history.
Well, I won't give you the whole history, but I've been doing it 60
Just the
seconds.
highlights then.
But my wife and I started the business 50 years ago, and we moved into Brookline 48 years ago. We've been in town a long time. Been on that corner in Washington Square for almost 40 years. And perhaps many of you have driven by there and wondered, what are they doing there?
And why do they have
What are
that
they doing
bench
there?
out there? What do they do with the bench?
What is that? Yeah. So we've had a lot of iterations of that window in the front. We've won many awards, the window. And inside we do work that deals with people who talk as part of their job. And you are performing right now in front of some of the best speech coaches in the world right here, taking some of your comments and looking at you. I'm sure I'll hear about all this afterwards, what kind of critiques they have. So we have over the years worked with many folks.
We'd probably rather not get the
Maybe
feedback.
not, yeah. We've worked with a lot of folks from Brookline. Obviously, our clients come from all over the world, and we're delighted to bring them to Brookline. And when they come here, we hear an awful lot of nice compliments about the town and the way the city, the town looks and where we're located. And of course, the amenities in Washington Square have been great for our clients from out of the country and so forth. And we've worked with many of the folks who work with the town. So there are a lot of folks who are employees and who are representatives of the town that we've worked with, including, well, let's go as far as a presidential election. There was somebody here one time who ran for president. We worked there, and we've been in 3 presidential elections. But anyway, this is what we do. We work with folks who talk as part of their job. And our clients are from all over the world. And this is our 50th year. And next week at this time, we will officially turn over the leadership of this company from me as the CEO to the new CEO, who happens to be my son sitting right there. He'll be the new CEO starting next week. And it's been a delight to be here, really. We are very pleased, and people love coming to Brookline, and they love what's happened in the town. And it has to do with a lot, of course, of what you and the board has done over the years. So we're very pleased to receive this, and thank you very much for the honor of getting it.
Let's not forget Paula, who's unfortunately left us, but she was a big part of this organization from the very start, and a wonderful woman too.
Couldn't do it without her. She was my wife, obviously, and we started it 50 years ago. You know, frankly, when we started the business, there was no such a thing as what we do now. There were 2 things in the world to do coaching like we do. One was Dale Carnegie, one was Toastmasters International. It took us 2 years even to get listed in what was then called the Yellow Pages. We don't have those anymore. They didn't know how to put us in there because we weren't a therapy group, we weren't a clinic, we weren't a hospital, we weren't a school. So they didn't know quite how to list us. It took us 2 years to get in there. But once we were in, it was fine. I mean, now we're known all over the place. And we couldn't have done it without her. She passed away, unfortunately, 2 years ago. I had 52 years with her. It was wonderful. 50 of those years as part of the company. We started the company because the 2 of us wanted to work together. We went through school. She was studying speech pathology. I was studying speech education and broadcasting. And we got married in college. And after college, we wanted to work together. How do you do that? You know,
A model that we are now hearing quite a lot about, but people probably didn't discuss very much in 50 years ago.
very, very little.
Entrepreneurial and
Yeah, very little. And you know, it was a business that nobody had ever really heard of, so we were kind of starting from scratch, trying to tell people what we do. Can't call it Becker and Becker Associates. What the heck that is? So the Speech Improvement Company was born because it tells people exactly what we do. And she was the heart and soul of the company. When she passed away, it took us several months to figure out that it would have taken 3 full-time people at least to do the job that she was doing herself. So this is something I accept, of course, in her honor more so than mine. She was really the heart and soul of the whole company. We miss her tremendously. But we're carrying on. The tradition's going to carry on with the family. And hopefully in another 50 years, they'll be back for another anniversary, and I'll be off to another anniversary somewhere else.
And I hope Jake and Elwood Blues Brothers remain in there.
They're still there. Jake and Elwood are still with us. They're in the window at the moment. They're going to come back out. And over the years, you know, we changed that window. The building beside us at 1600 Beacon, it used to be a lot of elderly folks there. Whenever we changed the window, if we took out something that they liked, what happened to the, where are you gonna put the, you know, we heard about it right away, so it's become, and it's not uncommon for us to travel somewhere in the world and meet someone and say, I went to BU, are you, Boston College was my school, are you the ones that have that weird window? Yeah. So we're delighted to be here. We don't know how long we're gonna be here, but in the meantime, we thank you for recognizing us.
And thank you for my high school education. And congratulations. Anybody else before I read the resolution?
You know, Kenny, I did, I don't know if you guys know this, but I did 17 years at Brookline High School. Kenny was one of my students and many others. And that's while the speech improvement company was still working, we were growing and so forth. Bob Sperber was the guy who actually put me out of the high school. He said to me one time, he's look, 17 years, you've done a lot. We started the broadcasting business, we put up a debate team, we had national debate championships, we started that TV studio that's there now, and on and on and on. And he came to me one day and he said, you know what? He said, I hate to say this, he said, but you'd make a lot more money if you were on your own. And I didn't know what he meant. It was kind of scary after 17 years of loving the high school and the work that we did. But he was right. And every now and then I see him over at the fireplace and we commiserate a little bit. He's still one of the greatest guys I know, so we're proud to have him in Brookline as well.
All right, well, I'm gonna read this resolution. Whereas Dr. Dennis Becker and Dr. Paula Borkum-Becker, founders of the Speech Improvement Company, have been residents and active members of the Brookline community for 35 years. And whereas celebrating this 50th anniversary makes the Speech Improvement Company the oldest communications consulting firm in the United States. And whereas the Speech Improvement Company has served over 1 million people during its 50 years of service to businesses and nonprofit organizations. And whereas the Speech Improvement Company was a co-founder and contributed to the Washington Square Association. And whereas the Speech Improvement Company has enhanced Brookline's reputation through their worldwide presence and served as host to numerous international visitors. And whereas the Speech Improvement Company has contributed to the advancement of the field of communications through continuous research, published books, and syndicated radio shows. And whereas the Speech Improvement Company created the world's first virtual reality treatment for the fear of speaking. And whereas the coaches of the Speech Improvement Company have enhanced the communication skills of citizens of Brookline. And whereas the Speech Improvement Company and her storefront display window have been a landmark on Beacon Street for 35 years. And whereas the mission and activities of the Speech Improvement Company help create a more peaceful world through the improvement of interpersonal communication skills. Be it therefore resolved that we, the Board of Selectmen of the Town of Brookline, on behalf of the Washington Square Association and the citizens of Brookline, applaud the Becker's contribution to the communications business and for creating a world-renowned business in our community. All in favor of that resolution, please say aye. Selectman Daley.
Aye.
Selectman DeWitt.
Aye.
Selectman Waschinsky.
Aye.
Selectman Franco.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Congratulations. I think a round of applause is in
Congratulations, Kenny.
a formal resolution at this
We
point.
have to have it printed properly and framed, but
We'll have
we'll
like a real
get it done.
resolution. 1 million? That's like, that's
Yeah.
almost as many as hamburgers at McDonald's.
I know it. You've done such a nice job growing up, becoming chairman.
Filled out a little bit.
I think he owes it all to you.
Thank you all. Congratulations on your